Joined now by actor and comedy writer Rebecca Front. You've just released your second book.
I have.
It's called Impossible Things Before Breakfast. Tell us what it's about.
Like the first book, which is called Curious, also out there, it's a collection of true short stories. So they're kind of comedy essays, well, mainly comedy. Some of them are fairly serious, but most of the time I hope they're funny. And they're like collections of encounters I've had with people, moments when I've behaved in a really weird way, the sort of things that trouble you afterwards, you know, when you kind of walk away from a situation, you just think, why did I say that? Why did I behave in that weird way? And what I'm hoping is that people will read them and sort of think, oh, yeah, I'm a bit like that as well.
We also say at the start of the book that, you know, that you're an observer, that one of your favourite things is to kind of sit and literally just pick up minute details of what's going on.
And an eavesdropper as well. I'm a terrible one for sitting in restaurants and cafes and slightly tuning out of the conversation I'm meant to be having and just going...
I think we're all like that, aren't we? There's nothing better than sitting on the tube.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you can just watch people.
I travel on buses all the time. It's fantastic. You hear the most extraordinary thing. And what I love about that is you just hear a little snippet of something.
Yes.
So you're left to fill in what the rest of that is. And that's, it's very much those kind of things that I deal with in the book. Those little moments where you just encounter somebody fleetingly and you think, oh, I don't know what that was all about.
I think that's why Love Island's so big.
Yeah.
Because you tune in and you're eavesdropping on their conversations about dating and stuff. Do you watch Love Island?
I have this series, I'm watching it with my daughter, but the only problem, as she pointed out, is that actually all there... It's not the only problem. But, let's be honest, all they're talking about is relationships. And, of course, in real life, that isn't all you talk about. So I quite like to know what they're talking about when they're just discussing dinner, you know.
Because I quite like boring conversations. You know, you're somewhere and you just hear
you're good at that, aren't you?
Like the one you mentioned in the book where a guy who was just putting sugar into his coffee. I just really like it.
Just obsessively adjusting and adjusting and adjusting. It's like a little control thing. But also I like sort of puzzling things. Like once I was leaving a service station in the morning, this is mentioned in the other book, the first book, and there was this group of blokes there, never met them in my life, and I walked past them and one of them just went, hello? And I just thought, I don't know what that is. Is that a new rule that's come in, that when you walk past a group of blokes, I mean, I think it was kind of a sexist thing, actually. A few people have said, do you think he'd seen you on telly? But I don't think it was that. Yeah. I think it was like, excuse me, you're a woman and you're walking past these three blokes and you don't say hello. But odd things like that, and it troubled me all day. Why was I supposed to say hello to that bloke, but not all the 500 people I've just walked past? So I like those kind of little obsessive overthinking things.
You mentioned your daughter a minute ago. You openly talk about your children in the book. They're 17 and 20, aren't they?
17 and 19.
19. Yeah. So do they mind being talked about in the book?
I've run everything past them. I wouldn't dare not run everything. I mean, I haven't said anything, I think, that's embarrassing anyway, but I have said to both of them, will you please, I know you don't want to read my book, but would you please read the chapters about you, because I just want to be absolutely sure. And the same with my parents and my brother and my husband, who's referenced in most of the chapters. I've made sure that they're happy with everything.
So do you find that, just talking about Love Island there, you have to watch Love Island if you want to communicate with your children, which is how I found it.
I think it does.
Oh, is that why you're watching it?
Yeah. That's why you started watching it, wasn't it?
The worst thing to do is to watch one of those things, because you get hooked in.
You have to know. And now my daughter kind of texts me if I'm out, and I just go, guess who got voted off? I think actually you do have to kind of go the extra mile like that. Like I'm really not enjoying it. But you do.
No, I've had to watch Dance Mums and RuPaul's Drag Race and everything because I want to communicate with my children. Yeah. I've had to watch them.
And it's fun, isn't it? It's really great. And there is a particular thrill about it.
As a parent, you go, this is rubbish. Yeah. What happened in the next series?
But also, when they walk in a room and say, do you want to watch it with me? You just think, yes, I do, because I love you so much.
Let's talk about Poldark. You're in that. That's a popular TV show. What role have you got in that one?
There's this dodgy, horrible vicar character called Ozzie Whitworth, played by the brilliant and wonderful Christian Brassington. I play his mum, and he's a really vile character. And you've got a picture of me. Oh, yeah, looking terrifying there.
What perfume have you chosen for her?
I think she was Orange Blossom. It was either Orange Blossom or Rosewater. It was a simple, single-note fragrance, as we used to say in the perfume trade. Yes, so that was what she was wafting off all the way through. But she's quite a ghastly character, and and she's very still, and that was a real challenge because as you may have noticed, I keep dipping in and out of frame because I'm really not very still at all. So it's quite fun actually playing a character who just doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
quite chilling.
And you're also going to be in a horror soon as well. What's the...
Yes.
With Uma Thurman.
Yes, I like to think Uma's been going around saying, I'm doing a Rebecca Plum film. She almost certainly is. She's kind of my sidekick in it pretty well. She's centre of frame, and as I say in my book, I like things to the side of frame, and I go just to the side of Uma Thurman. And also what's really clever acting is that I look really short next to Uma Thurman. That was actually performance. That was just the skill of my performance.
And the perfume,
Yeah, and the perfume. No perfume for that one. But yeah, I do look. It was a masterpiece of acting that I look shorter and less attractive.
But what is the film?
It's called Down a Dark Hall, and it's based on an American novel, which I don't remember kids here reading, but in America, teenage kids all kind of go, oh yeah. It's a really popular book. And it's this sort of, gothic horror kind of story about a boarding school. It's very good. It's beautifully shot as well.
When's that one going to be out then?
August, I think. It's August, yeah.
OK.
Me and Uma.
All right, brilliant. Thanks, Rebecca. Impossible Things Before Breakfast is out now.